So I always like to find out, like sport-wise, like sport specifically, football. And you can break this down in positions if you want to, or just the whole team in general. But what would be like the top 3 injuries that you see on the field that you're having to deal with each season?
From a standpoint of maybe the social aspect, obviously concussions are a big deal. Now, I don't see them as consistently as I see other injuries. They're just the ones that are maybe the hot button issue of it, and not rightfully so, because that's kind of the longer lasting of something like that. So we see those, and I don't want to say that they're not important to count in that top 3. So we are very proactive with how we train for concussion prevention and things like that with their necks and shoulders, and just trying to stabilize and stuff like that. So that's something that we consistently do, so we don't see it. So I'm not gonna put that in the top 3, because those are just ones that you're trying to fight not to see. Now the ones that we see a lot of shoulder issues. I think from what we've gathered and tried to help is we train a lot of the shoulder muscles, and we train a lot of these upper body things. But then that's the thing that you really use a lot in the contact aspect of football. I mean, you're tackling, blocking, tackling. So when we go out and do bench press and all these things, I think that the old adage was, hey, get in the weight room and do as much weight as you can and do it. And I was raised in a little bit of that. I mean, I'm not that old, and I was raised in that, like, hey, put as much on the bar as you can and let's go. Yeah. What we've done a lot better job of now is trying to make sure that we're doing more prehab work to try to make sure that we are fighting the fact that the shoulders are going to break down a little bit with just wear and tear. You're going to get sore. Yep. So shoulder issues have been a big deal, and we've really transitioned to a lot of our workouts to make sure that we're doing a lot more prehab work for that, stretching, getting them more stable, not putting so much stress on them, in the weight room with that. We see a lot of hamstring issues. Not so much, I haven't seen a lot of tears or anything like that, just pulls. And I think for us, there's finding that right balance of stretching and getting their core right. Because a lot of it comes to them. Their core is not where it's supposed to be. I had a hamstring problem in college, and when they started breaking down, it really was because my back wasn't right. My glutes weren't where they should be, or whatever it was. So we see a lot of hamstring strains, I would say, and then we deal a lot of lately with, I would say, ankle and.
I thought you were going to say ankles. Yeah, because it's a big part of football. Yeah,
and I think that goes the same way. Just the cutting and the movements and the stress that you put on your body. Some of the time, it's one of those things that you just, if you can find a way to prevent it besides what we try to do all the time, with stabilization and the prehab work that we do. Yeah, I would like. It's just one of those things I think just happens sometimes, and you try to fight it, but kid's gonna.
He's gonna roll.
Right, he's gonna roll one. He's twisted. Something's gonna happen in the pile. He's gonna have to make a tackle, and he's gonna plant the wrong way. But ankle has been, and that's not only just us. That's what I see on other teams too. Oh, yeah. You see a lot of that.
We may have a few things to discuss in that area.
Yeah,
I got some really
absolutely
strong background with that.
Please, good.
Well, when it comes down to hamstrings, I think that to me is like one of the main topic items. USC, honestly, any football team has been riddled. Some of the best athletes go down with hamstring tears, strains, whatever you want to call them, through tears. Yeah, it's just how much of a tear, right? Okay. And typically, a weak hamstring will also become a tight hamstring, which in performance typically doesn't get warmed up properly, and then boom, you're ending up with some tissue that's not moving well, and you're straining it, and all of a sudden there's a force and it's down. So, and the recovery process, is more than anything, takes so long for that as compared to some of the other areas in the body, because, well, just based on the fact that it's a muscle, right? Let's just leave it at that. The ankle itself, man, creating just bulletproof ankles is something, we haven't quite fully put a handle on, put a firm grasp on why the ankle is so wrecked all the time. Yeah. Outside of the fact that you're moving a large person in a very dynamic sport over a very small area. Right. So true. Bulletproof ankles come down to really intense strength and mobility training. People want to get caught up in, I take my ankles, bro. Why? I'm in my brace. Why is it, why do I twist my ankle? Why does it keep getting injured? And, bracing and taping is a support, but it can also negate your ability to use your ankle at times, right? So you basically locked it in a position and haven't had the ability to rely on your own strength to control it.
Right.
But that tape's only going to do so much. I mean, I think we all know that.
Yeah.
And it, not that it's something we need to look frowned upon, because it was a great idea and it has been working to some degree, but there's also some things that indicate, hey, maybe there's another method, right?
Oh, yeah.
So a hardy strengthening program for your ankles. I'll give you a little history on this, but powerlifting friend up in Columbia ran our sports training facility for a number of years, and I was big in the bands. I mean, some of these stretch bands, especially the like 1 and 1.5, 2 inch thick ones, and developed an ankle strengthening program based off a guy named Dick Hartzell. If you don't know who Dick Hartzell, he's the original rubber band dude, right? Okay. So he did all the band work.
Nice.
He's basically the reason all the places on the planet seem to have these bands, right?
We've got, absolutely.
And so he does a lot of like dynamic stretch stuff with it.
Yeah.
So not just static stretching where you're reaching for the toes, but he'll take that thing and he'll pump out a hamstring and get it very flexible. You'll see these in the NBA guys doing them on the court before they warm up and in other aspects of athletics. But he basically designed an ankle strengthening program. You wrap the band around the ankle, you do some crazy work with it, you get up, you do some other things with it. And our powerlifting friend, Donnie, he would have Newberry College or like USC or the guys from Clemson come down to this place in Columbia, and they would do strength work with them. Right. Then he'd take them through all the other aspects of of how to be bulletproof on the field. Yeah. And I think in a year, as close as I can get it to an accurate stat, it went from like 12 or 13 guys being injured with ankle sprains to 2. Yeah. It was an incredible reduction in a year, and it just took focus. And these guys were doing it before every practice. They were hammering out ankles just so it was there. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to slip when you're not.
No, it's true. That's something I need to look into.
Yeah, no, it's and there's lots of stuff out there, to look into, and it's great. I mean, as a program grows, you try to incorporate certain things that you need,
right?
And we can always talk shop too about certain things, but that's just one that sticks out. Like that's a great option, I think, for a lot of teams across the country.
And I think as we study to try to be up on the best strength and conditioning things that we can do, and then just getting their bodies right for the game. A lot more of the work that we're putting into is injury prevention, prehab, making sure their bodies are, like you were saying, like bulletproof, top performance for the time that they play the game. So how can we find a way to get them to that point of preparing their body for that?
Yeah.
Because we play football 3 months out of the year, maybe, and we train them for 12.
Yep.
I mean, and that's the way that we kind of get our hands on them and mold them into the people in the weight room that we want them to be, and their bodies in the way that we want them to be. So a lot more of our, at least my research has been, especially this past year, has been on how can we make them as healthy as we possibly can. Still under the model that, hey, we want to get bigger, we want to get faster, we want to get stronger, all these things. But how can we make these bulletproof athletes and put them in a place where they're not going to set themselves up to get hurt, or you're going to set them up to be as bulletproof as you can get.
Sure. You do your very best.
Right. You obviously there's risk in everything. I mean, there's risk in every sport you possibly play.
But where that's at, I mean, gone are the days when you just walk onto the field when the season starts.
Absolutely.
There's so much prep work. So the fact that you guys are at that level already in the third year of the program, extraordinary, man. Like, give you all kinds of credit.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep stepping it up out there.
We're gonna try. I mean, it's a dream job of mine. I love it. I love this community. It's such a cool aspect to be able to start a program. I don't know if I'd ever want to do it again. There's no book out there to read. Starting school, and it was so cool to do. I mean, I have so many fond memories of the first year when we were without a weight room and without a practice field, and we bonded over it. We had to find ways. We did a lot of push-ups and air squats, and push our own teammates and all that kind of stuff. And we did some stuff we had to do, but I realized that having a beautiful facility, a place to practice, a locker room, I'll tell you that right now. And the memories of it can stay that way. They can stay memories. We enjoyed our time doing it, but I do love it. But I don't know if I want to do it again.
Well, listen, thank you for coming in and sharing some time with us today. Yeah, it's been an honor, man, chatting with you and hearing about you and learning about you and the program out at Philip Simmons. And if anybody wants any more information, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Our website is ironhorseathletics.net, and on that has all of our information really about our whole calendar. It's got my email and office phone number and everything on there. I'm on Twitter, like blanking on my name, even though I'm active on it. I think it's Coach Eric Bendig.
Only like 13,000 tweets.
I'm active. I don't know why I forgot about it. But all of our social media stuff is on ironhorseathletics.net, and that is the hub of finding everything football related. Calendar,
new schedule,
absolutely
beautiful new schedule out.
Oh yeah. We just got we had a hand-to-hand, so we had a team drop from last year. They dropped athletics in the whole school. So one of the big things is playing hand-to-hand this year, which is going to be huge for us. It's the closest Bishop of England, who we also play in hand-to-hand, are the closest geographical schools. So there's a lot of history there because a lot of the ninth graders that started with us were at hand-to-hand their first year. So it's been a pretty cool deal to tell the kids that they're playing those guys. And I think it's going to be a nice little rivalry for years to come. We got to win one to make it a rivalry.
Amen. Challenge them up,
you know, every day.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. It's going to be cool. It's a cool year coming up.
Yeah, because I'm looking forward to seeing what you. I'm going to make some games this year, I promise.
Good.
And if you want to hear anything else more about physical therapy, we'd be glad to help you out at pbtaccess.com. That's Progressive Physical Therapy. So thank you again for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
We'll do this again soon. Catch up mid-season, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're real fired up.
Hope we got a few wins under our belt.
Yeah.
I'll take 5 wins at half.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.